Hello and welcome back to TBWP21. During this episode, we'll be addressing the physical wellness pillar. The wellness topics we'll be covering are why your diet failed in 2021, how to read food labels, and heart health.
So most of us have probably tried and failed multiple times at dieting and weight loss. So we have asked nutrition coach Jamie Bell to provide us with a bit of information that will help us to create sustainable habits when it comes to food and nutrition.
Thank you so much for joining us today for our nutrition talk. This is Jamie from TanaBell Corporate. I also run a program called Kulak Nutrition by HSN, and today I want to share with you the 3 reasons that your diet failed and tips to help you change that narrative so you can feel more confident in your own skin. At HSN, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition should not be complicated. We want to help you build a strong nutrition foundation so that you can meet those short and long-term goals and feel the way you deserve. So let's dive into the top 3 reasons that your diet might be failing you. Reason number 1 is that it's too restrictive. The weight loss market is now worth a record $71 billion as of 2020. This industry targets our emotions, our insecurities, and our microwave society tendencies. We want to look a certain way right now. Because of this, they're able to market things like low carb, low fat, no sugar, or in other words, no fun diet trends that promise you can lose 30 pounds in 30 days. We've all seen these claims, right? There's so much information out there, and people get confused and try the more drastic and restrictive diets that ultimately lead to losing weight fast, but regaining it all back as they end up binging on the foods that they were restricted from. This is a very common cycle and largely the reason these diets will not work for long-term sustainable habits that lead to a healthier, happier, and more balanced life. There have been many studies on these diets, and for the vast majority of us, they found it is setting ourselves up for failure. A study from the National Institute of Health regarding restricting sugar from the diet states, many people try to lose weight by periodically forbidding themselves from eating certain foods. But depriving yourself of tasty food can backfire. It can activate the brain's stress system, causing anxiety and withdrawal-like symptoms and leading you to overeat the forbidden foods when you get a chance. In other words, the well-known restrict binge cycle. At the end of the day, the more restrictive diets are not working on building healthy and sustainable habits. They're just really causing you stress and anxiety until you break, which leads to binging. This is why 80% of those who lose weight will gain it right back. An easy solution is to first choose the whole foods options with good protein, healthy fats, carbs, yes, carbs, and veggies. Next, I encourage you to find a more mindful balance with treats. Rather than going all week refraining from any little treat that leads to a Sunday fun day where you end up over-consuming until you feel sick, find a mindset where you can have those treats throughout your week in a mindful portion size. Not only will this help you stay away from feeling anxiety or binging, but it will also help you create a more positive relationship with your body and your food. Listen to those hunger and fullness cues. Having a nutrition coach is a really great way also to help you find that balance. All right, reason number 2, the diets fell, is inconsistency. Raise your hand or think about if you've ever heard of the 80-20 rule. Not only have most of us heard of it, but a majority of us have actively practiced it. If you haven't heard of it, imagine being perfect with your diet Monday through Friday afternoon, and then the weekend you decide to just unleash the hungry caterpillar. Pizza, beer, ice cream, you get the idea. This rule is so appealing because it allows you to remain inconsistent with your habits. And that is why this is the second reason that your diet will fail. A study published back in 2017 on PubMed suggests that while there is still much debate regarding the optimal weight loss diet, evidence suggests that adherence to a diet, regardless of the type of diet, is an important factor in finding success. In other words, reason number 1, highly restrictive diets is leading to reason number 2, inconsistency. A study from Danziger et al. Reports a strong association between self-reported adherence on a scale of 1 to 10 and weight loss after following 4 different diets. Similarly, the A to Z weight loss study found that dietary adherence scores were significantly correlated with weight loss at 12 months when looking at 3 different diets. So in other words, adherence is strongly associated with weight loss success over the short and long term. Knowing this, the solution to this problem becomes clear. You should be finding the right balanced path for you that you can stick with no matter the situation. Start with only one thing at a time and slowly add the next habit until you have created a plan that you can stick to long term. This incorporates that whole foods approach with a mindful balance of treats. Okay, reason number 3 that diets fail is that you're doing it alone. Wanting to lose weight or change your body in any way, along with starting a fitness routine and a different eating pattern, is very emotional and intimate. Oftentimes, this leads us to starting our journey without ever sharing with our friends and family due to fear of failure. This leads us to reason number 3 that your diet fails. You try to do it alone. While this journey can and should be simple, it is not easy. Our emotions, stress levels, energy levels, relationships, and so much more all directly relate to our consumption. Have you ever felt so stressed that you started to crave comfort foods? That's normal. When things feel hard, it's easy to start negative self-talk, which leads us to throwing in the towel. We can't always have that little voice in the back of our head telling us to keep it up. That is why you should share your journey with your inner circle and find someone who will be there for you in a judgment-free zone to remind you of those bright spots, no matter how small. This is the solution to the third reason your diet fails. Do not do this alone. One study found that those who enrolled in a weight loss program with friends did a better job keeping their weight off. In addition to teaming up with friends, these participants were given social support in addition to the standard treatment. 2/3 of those with support kept the weight off after 6 months, while only 1/4 of those without support found the same success. So tell your friends and family what your goals are, and more importantly, why they're important to you. Further, having a nutrition coach there to support you and keep you accountable has shown to not only help start the journey, but stay strong for long-term success. So as we can see, the restrictive diets marketed to the public, the inconsistency that these cause, and the lack of support are the reasons that your diets are failing you. This time, feel empowered to change that narrative and find the results you're looking for. Get yourself a nutrition coach, tell your inner circle that you need support, and find a balanced and sustainable plan that you can stick to. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie, for all those tips on how we can work together towards living a healthier and more nutrition-focused lifestyle. I really liked the tip about finding a way to be held accountable. Kelly, maybe we could work together to ensure we're staying on track for our 2022 nutrition goals?
I love that idea. We'll do that. Next, we will see the interview I had the opportunity to do with our certified dietary manager, Skylar Wilcox, at Serenity Transitional Care. Skylar and I reviewed all the information that can be found on the back of food labels, and we took a few moments to look at some of the labels that we had in our pantry at Serenity.
All right, we're going to start with our masks on, but we're going to take them off. Both Skylar and I are vaccinated and boosted, and we're going to maintain some space between us so that we're safe, but we wanted you to be able to hear us and understand what we're saying. So I'm here with Skylar Wilcox. He is the certified dietary manager here at Serenity, and he helps all of our residents with their meals. Thanks, Skylar, for taking time to visit with us. We appreciate it. We wanted to hit up food labels and kind of understand them better and understand why we even want to look at them. So talk to me. Why do we even want to bother with food labels? What's important about food labels?
Well, food labels give you your nutritional information for everything that you consume or put into your body. It also can help you count like your daily values and make sure you're not going over on what you're consuming throughout the day.
Okay, so we have pulled a food label from a frozen lasagna, but we're going to be referring to the information on that when we have our discussion for an example to help everybody out. So talk to me, what's the first important thing that we're going to find on a food label?
At the very top of it, you're going to start with the serving information. So, for example, this lasagna tells us that there's 4 servings in a container, and that 1 serving is 1 cup.
So the servings really matter when you're eating your food. What's on there?
Correct.
How much?
Because if I was to consume 2 cups of this lasagna, I would need to double everything that I'm looking at.
Okay, excellent. What else is on our food label that's important that we need to see?
Next, you would want to look at your calories. So that's based off a 2,000 calorie limit for your daily value. So,
And how did we get to 2,000?
so 2,000 is the average for the average human being.
Okay.
Again, you can go to myfoodplate.gov and they can help you if you put your age, your weight, and any like health conditions you're going through. It'll tell you exactly what your calorie intake needs to be.
Oh, so they personalize it, but generally speaking,
Yeah.
most people are about 2,000.
Correct. So generally speaking, they just average everything at 2,000 for your
Okay.
daily value. So, and so your calories are what produces energy for your body. And so that's where you always want to start is this lasagna has 280 calories for the one meal. And so people that would like to lose weight or gain weight, they may consume more than 2,000 calories, or if they want to lose weight, they may put back down a little bit from that 2,000.
Let me make sure. So on this label, it has 280 calories. That's per serving, not for the whole package.
Correct.
Right,
So
okay.
that's per serving. So, and at the top, it'll say that there's 4 servings, but your
So-
serving size is 1 cup. So that 280 calories would be for that 1 cup.
Okay, because like the whole thing is like 1,600 calories.
Correct.
Right. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. Great. So what else is on our food label that we need to know?
So next, you'd probably jump down to your nutrients, and so that's where you're going to find your fats, cholesterol, sodium, and carbs are down in your nutrient section.
And why do those matter?
It personally, and it gears towards everyone a little bit differently. So like I always go to total carbs first, just I'm pre-diabetic, and so it helps me count my carbs so I hopefully don't develop diabetes or have low blood glucose or high blood glucose levels. So
Okay. Okay, talk to me about sodium. Why does sodium matter? And why does fiber matter? Talk about both of those.
So sodium, you're looking more at like your heart or maybe renal function, and so a lot of Americans overconsume sodium, which can cause a lot of health conditions in your older age. But fiber helps with your bowel movements, to have natural bowel movements, and so you want to make sure that you have plenty of fiber in your diet so that you can have good, healthy bowel movements.
I have a question too. I once heard that I thought that fiber helps you to feel like you're fuller longer. Is that correct?
That is correct. So if you a little more fiber you eat, your body takes a little bit longer to digest and stuff, and so you'll feel like you're
So you're not as hungry.
all the time.
Okay.
And then if you look at those total carbohydrates right there, they're broken down into 3 different sections. So you'll have your dietary fiber, which is they're just sugars with the fiber. Total sugars, so total sugars are natural sugars that are coming within it. So that would be like the sugar in apple or milk or something like that.
Okay.
And then added sugar would be like adding sugar to your food or brown sugar or honey or anything.
Oh,
like
okay.
that. And so you just want to kind of watch what you're consuming. So if you look at this lasagna, 1 serving has 37%. And when looking at a nutritional label, 5% is low, and anything above 20%, you're kind of getting high in that value.
So that's 30%, 37% of what you're going to eat all day long. You've now almost got half, because you're just under 40. You've almost got half of the sodium that you can consume all day long to stay in the healthy range. Am I understanding that correctly?
So yeah.
Okay.
So that 37% is daily, though. So the amount of sodium that you're supposed to consume in a day, you've already consumed 37 out of 1 piece of lasagna, and that's if you didn't add salt
and pepper. Which I do all the time. It's like a little salt, a little pepper.
So it definitely, you just want to watch those values. So you may want to compensate with it and maybe eat something a little less sodium for lunch. And so,
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Anything else on our food label that we need to pay attention to?
Down at the bottom of it, you'll have like your vitamins and stuff like that. So if you're someone that tracks how much vitamins you're eating, or maybe you're feeling a little down and you need to get a little bit more vitamin C or vitamin D or something, you can track those down at the bottom of those labels.
Are there food labels on everything?
Yeah, so the USDA requires that every food item that's sold have a food label on it.
Okay. So, and then explain to me the difference between food labels and like food pyramid. And has food pyramid changed at all over the years?
And yes, the food pyramid definitely has changed, and it's actually kind of changed to what's called the My Plate system. And so rather than a food pyramid telling you exactly what you need to eat, with your grains being the most on the bottom and your protein the least on top, it more looks at it per meal and then a total daily value. So for the average American human, you want to eat about 6 ounces of bread a day, and then you have 2.5 ounces of vegetables, two servings of vegetables, 2 servings of fruit, and then about 6 ounces of protein. And so when you look at a plate, you want to make sure that you break it into fourths, and you have a section that's fruit, a section that's vegetables, protein, and then your carb section you'll just have a little bit smaller on your plate.
Okay. And what's the reason for doing that? Do we know? Just because it's healthier?
Just for it's healthier so that you meet your daily values. So what they've found is if you break your plate up like that and you get your correct portion sizes, by the end of the day you're going to hit those daily marks that you want to hit.
Okay, so even if you want to lose weight, you still have to balance your plate out with everything.
You're going to want to have a balanced plate with proteins, veggies, and you don't want to cut all carbs out. You don't want to have 0 carbs, because that's where most of our energy values come from, is from our carbs. And so some of those diets out there just want you to cut all your carbs, and that you can't. Otherwise, you are going to be sluggish. You might feel great for a couple days, and then you're going to start feeling sluggish and not feel so great.
You just don't have any energy.
Correct.
Yeah. Any final tips? Any clues? Any wisdom you want to share with us in your experience as a dietary manager? And
the only other thing I would bring up is, even though if you have a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle, you want to make sure you remain active. You want to make sure that whether it's a 10-15 minute walk once or twice a day, or you go for a run, or I like to bike, so I go biking when I can. I mean, we live in Idaho and it snows a lot, but when I can, I do bike. But you just want to make sure you're remaining active. The recommendation is at 30 minutes a day. If you can just get 30 minutes a day and have a healthy diet, you should be able to maintain your weight.
Okay. And have a healthy life, and a healthy heart.
Correct.
And a healthy all the things inside.
Correct. If you can maintain your sodium and your cholesterol and your carbs, you should be able to have a healthy lifestyle.
Great. Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate you, Skylar.
Thank you, Skylar. That was all great information that we discussed. And you have made me more aware of some of the lines that I should be looking at, some of the information I need on the labels of the food I am preparing and consuming.
Lastly, we'll be hearing from our Canyons Retirement Activities Director, Destiny Myers. She'll be discussing a little information about the importance of heart health.
Great.
My name is Destiny Myers. I'm here by myself, so I can take off my mask now. I just wanted to talk for a second about heart health and what we do here at Canyons to keep our bodies moving. As we know, heart disease is the #1 killer of men and women, and we need to do some things to keep our hearts healthy, especially as we're here with our residents. We see what heart health can do to keep ourselves active and our bodies in the best condition. Moving your body 5 times a week for 30 minutes of light exercise is very optimal. 3 times for 30 minutes a week of moderate exercise is great. And one thing we do here at Canyons is we have exercise class with our residents 5 times a week for 30 minutes, light exercise. Our aides also come in sometimes and do our exercise and are really surprised by what our residents can do. It's just really a testament to keeping your body moving, keeping your heart healthy, and keeping yourself active. We have 2 different exercise classes. One is a chair aerobics class where we stay stationary in our chair. We move our bodies a little bit quicker, do some cardio movements. Our other class is band and ball exercise. We work with elastic bands and balls that are like tennis balls. We work on squeezing, finger dexterity, different kinds of muscle movements. We also have a memory care exercise class where we do drum exercise. So we have exercise balls with drumsticks. We work on rhythms, we work on cadence, counting. So we have not only our body, but our mind working also. Some of the exercises that we do here at the Canyons with our residents translate very easily to when you're sitting in your own chair, if you're working at your desk, or if you're just taking a break. We have a few movements that I can show you that are really good for everybody. We have a few simple movements that are arm swings that really do not only activate your shoulder and your arm muscles, but do get your heart rate going. We start by doing the wing stretcher, putting your fists together in front of you, pulling your elbows back, and you can really feel a stretch in your shoulders here. It's good for our residents' mobility, and I definitely feel it when I do it too. Another one we do is called the touch stretch. You touch your fists together, you stretch one arm up and one arm down, then you come back in and touch and stretch to the other side. Doing this for 30 seconds really gets the blood moving, gets the heart pumping, and really gets your arms working. One more that you can do at your desk is to hold on to the sides of your seat and plant your feet firmly on the floor. Use your arms to pick yourself up and then hold, and then let yourself back down slowly. You feel it more than you think you would. It's a great way for our residents to be able to help when they're transferring themselves, but it also is a great exercise, weight-bearing movement for us to do for ourselves. We do ready to work exercises every day to keep ourselves ready for the job. We do have a physically demanding job, and it is very important to be limber and ready as we move throughout our days. We are not only back and forth through the buildings taking tons of steps every day, but we also are assisting our residents, so we need to be in optimal shape, stretched out, and ready to go. I would like to invite everybody to schedule time in their daily activities to find time for 30 minutes of light activity. It's easier than you think. We see with our residents how important it is to just keep yourself healthy, keep yourself moving, make your day-to-day life easier. And it also is good for endorphins. It's good for your brain, keeps you thinking clear. There are so many benefits to exercise, so I hope you can find some time in your day to do some.
Thank you, Destiny. We sure are glad to have awesome people like you encouraging movement and exercise in the lives of the residents we care for. We hope others will take your advice and find 30 minutes a day to get their heart rate up in order to keep it healthy and strong.
We appreciate all those who helped contribute to this month's video, and we challenge each of our employees to strive to focus on their nutrition and heart health this month.